program here. We just wanted to kind of reach out and give everybody a quick update to let everybody know how the road trip went and where we're at and all that. If you can't tell, we are back home. That's our RV in the background, and the trip was kind of crazy. So, I guess to just give you a short summary of what happened. We had made it all the way to the easternmost point of the U.S. We were in Maine, and right on the Atlantic coast, we could see New Brunswick, we could see Nova Scotia, and we were standing on Maine, and everything was great. And then that night I got sick, and I don't know for sure what it was that I got, but I got real sick. I think that was on the night of the September 25th. And that was kind of where we were running close to the end of our trip anyway. But I got so sick that we spent like a full day in the parking lot of a Walmart in our tent, camped out with Caitlin trying to help me suffer through my illness. And it was pretty much a stomach bug. I was just very sick with vomiting, and that was it. I didn't have diarrhea, didn't have any other symptoms, just really nauseous and really sick. And I threw up a whole day in the middle of the parking lot of Walmart, and it was at the end of Hurricane Fiona. And so it was raining on us, so I would like step out of the tent to puke and get soaked in rain, and then come back into the tent and try to sleep, try to rest, and it was just miserable. Caitlin did a great job of trying to comfort me.
I was very grateful for being in a Walmart parking lot. I probably went in and out of that store like a million times trying to find stuff that would help make you
Help
feel
me.
better.
Yeah, and then she ended up, we made the decision to go get a hotel because if I wasn't getting any better, and we stayed in that hotel for about a week.
We
I
drove down to Massachusetts. That was the closest one. We
Yeah,
were, forget where we
I
were,
think we were in Portland, and if
in Portland, Maine.
Uncle Jim, if you're watching this, we went to get a lobster roll and never ended up getting it because I was so sick that I just didn't want to spend the money. They were super expensive. I don't think lobster was in season because it was like 26 bucks a sandwich. And I didn't want to spend that money for something I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep down or not. So we never ended up getting our lobster roll. So we may have to take a trip with you out to Maine sometime and get a lobster roll
Yeah.
together. But uh, man, I got so sick. We hunkered down in the hotel room for a week, and I don't even really remember much of that. Caitlin took me to an urgent care, and then she took me to the ER, and I was in the hospital for a day. And basically, they ran a bunch of tests on me, a bunch of blood panel work, and CT scans and X rays. And at the end of it, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and they basically said, "Well, you'll get feeling better." So
Here's an anti-nausea prescription.
yeah, here's a little anti-nausea medicine and have a good day. So we went back to the hotel room. The anti-nausea medicine didn't help. Um, Nothing. I mean, at this time it was starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, at this point I had been super sick where it was like, I don't know, 10, 15 times a day. And then it was slowing down to like a couple times a day. So we were feeling better and feeling good with the progress that we were making, and decided maybe we should try and scoot home. So we spent the next week uh, moving across the US. I was so sick and so weak that we couldn't, I mean, we were doing about 800 miles a day, and that was about all that my body could stand.
It's probably a little too much
Probably a
at
little too much
first.
at first. And
We pushed hard and did 1,600 miles the first 2 days and ended up at my brother's house, which we were very grateful for. But we
yeah,
ended up staying an extra night just because Michael was totally wiped out.
yeah, I didn't even, I don't, we expected to get up the next morning and head out the next morning, and I didn't even wake up. Like, I was out that whole next day. And at any rate, we ended up getting the strength and getting back home. We made it back home. Today's Monday. We made it back home Saturday afternoon, evening. Sunday, I just was asleep pretty much the whole day. And today, I've rested a lot. A good friend of mine brought me some soup. It was so amazing. Um, but man, God blesses you in the weirdest ways. I feel like this is a crazy blessing in that whatever was in my body, whatever sickness I had, it got purged through really good, and I feel very cleansed for it. I've lost a ton of weight, and I'm still not back to full health, but I feel like I'm at that turning point where I'm able to get rest and start able to heal. So today was a much better day. So for all of you who have been concerned with wondering where the videos are at and what's going on, we had an unexpected surprise and took a weird turn. I'll try and be working. I've got a couple videos wrote for Bible study stuff. I just haven't had the strength to record. So I'll be working on that this next week as I have strength. And then I'll start working on the actual video of our trip. It was a trip of a lifetime. It was so cool. So many answered prayers, so many blessings. But God is good, and we give him all the glory. And I hope that if you've been praying for us, that your concerns are put at bay. And but we do appreciate the prayer, and I would say keep them coming.
Yeah.
And if you're not a believer but just kind of a follower of our life, we love you, and we hope the best for you, and we thank you for your well wishing and everything. But anything else?
Oh, we're
No.
just happy to be home.
Yep. I've got an amazing wife. So thanks, guys. We'll tune in soon.
Bye.